second Saturday of each month.
Well, let's start our meeting here, if you guys would like to. Can everybody turn their phones off and silence your phone? Can we all stand up for a moment of silence? The pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we ask a bunch of questions, Billy would like to get up. Before we start, Billy would like to get up and say a few things before we start asking questions. So here she goes.
Okay, before we get into our town hall question and answers, there's something that I'm going to bring up because I know there's probably a lot of questions about this birthday party. First of all, this birthday party, 50+1, should have been taken care of last year. But this board has taken it upon themselves to do this birthday party this year. Because I hope this. Out of this entire community, we know some can volunteer, we know some that can't. Several months ago, our president, Debbie, had asked for volunteers to be on the birthday committee. We got a total of 17 volunteers from this whole community. And we know some people can't, some people whatever, but that's okay. We're getting it done anyway. Going forward, we are going forward with this birthday party. It will take place on Saturday, March 9th, right? The ladies have just about sold the 350 tickets, which is good. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a pasta dinner. There's going to be some surprises going on. There's going to be some raffles going on. But what I'm trying to say is that some of these media outlets, or whatever you want to call them, a lot of information out there is not being truthful about what the hell goes on here. We're not serving SpaghettiOs. That was one comment. Well, how come, it's not out to 4,000 people? It's out to anybody that wants to buy a ticket. We came up with 350 because 350 will accommodate the hall for dinner. It's not like your dance at night that holds 600 or 700 people. This is completely different. These ladies and these guys worked hard on this committee, and we're doing it. As a matter of fact, God willing, we're going to continue this into October because we want to do an October Fest, which they've never had. So if anybody is interested in volunteering, let us know way before that. But like I said, there's too many comments and innuendos that you hear. If you're not sure about something, if you want information, there's 5 of us right now that you can call. You can call down the office. Our phones are listed. If you want to listen to gossip, and if you want to listen to garbage, go ahead because you'll never get the truth. Well, I'm telling you, thank you, the birthday committee. You guys did a hell of a job, and we're going on. No spaghetti.
Okay, we open it up. Anybody want to talk? Mike. We opened it up. Anybody want to talk?
everybody hear me? Everybody have signed in at 6? I have a two-part question, maybe you can answer it. Have you signed a contract with Spectrum?
No, we have not yet. I just want, we did, okay, I'm not too sure because, I have to, and Jim, can you come up here for 1 second?
Right there.
Right there. Before we start, I meant to mention this, Debbie, our president, was on vacation in Australia, came back and both her and her husband had COVID, very sick. Thank you, Jim.
To answer your first part of your question, yes, the contract was signed, I believe, in late December. And at the last board meeting, we mentioned that we would be getting some funds from Spectrum for the community. It was in the range of 900.
Oh, you didn't have a firm price? You didn't have a firm amount?
There's a firm amount, I just don't know it. I just know it's in the 900s.
Is that a year? It's
That's
a
a-
10-year
It's
contract.
a 10-year contract, 900 for it's a lump sum amount. We had the average. 900,000, correct. Yes, it is for the entire 10-year period.
Where will you apply the money? How will it be used?
Well, that's a great question. Is anyone from the finance committee here? What are the odds? Right in front of me. There was something that I wanted to bring up at the next finance committee. I have my ideas, but Jim Westbrook, the treasurer, does not make the decision for that kind of money for this community. It should be a multiple person decision. There are several options. Initially, upon receipt of it, we have not received it, so there's no misunderstanding. We have not received the money, and until we do, I'm one of those that I'm not gonna count my chickens until, it's actually hatched. So once we get the money, then we need to make some determinations. A very quick answer is, once we get it, it will go into the operating funds, and we'll draw interest on it, and then whatever the right decision is, whatever the community decision is, we will go forward. What I would like to see, if you want to know what my opinion is, I'd love to see the community vote on it, put it out a ballot when we send our ballots out with the budget. And let the community say, hey, you should do this, or you should do that, or
We can't hear you.
I can't hear you, and I'm right next to you. Can you say that again?
I'd like to see some more rooms expanded, building expanded.
That's certainly an option. The money's there for the community. Make no mistake about it. This money that's coming in is to be used for the community. Now, there's several ways you could do it. And I've already had somebody say, well, hey, just lower the dues for next year for 2025. Instead of $50 and pay $40 or $30. Yeah, we could do that. Probably not the best interest of the community. That's why I would love to see a vote. The downside to doing that is you have to wait until September to make that decision. Now, we'd be drawing interest on that money. Now we can make, I just did a CD today, I think it was 5.1. So there's very attractive rates.
For how long?
That's a 6-month. And I did one last week or a week before for a year, and that was 4.85, I think. So there's significant funds there. We could make a lot of money off the interest and then make that decision. I want it
What was that amount again?
in the 900s.
900,000.
Okay, so I'm just going from memory, and I don't want to give you numbers that are incorrect, so just round numbers. I believe we're gonna get around 950. The people that set this up for us get a 5% commission, so that takes it around 910-ish. So that's kind of the ballpark. That's why when I say it's 900, I don't want to over promise and under deliver. Yes, I don't want to over promise that we're gonna get this much money, and then a week we get less than that.
Okay,
Okay, then you get part two.
that was part 2. What
Oh, that was
was
part
with
two.
the money?
Oh, okay. Sure, go ahead while you're here.
Tim Wall, Unit 4, have we got a return from Spectrum from past boards, or is this something new?
Prior years, and this goes back many, many years, at least 12 on the current contract, and I think it was 5 or 10, and then 5 before that. We had signed contracts with them, and they automatically renewed in 2022, and would have automatically renewed last year, where we essentially got nothing, basically. So now we're, instead of getting nothing, we're getting roughly 90,000 a year for 10 years. We had the opportunity to take it every year. That was not a great option. Spectrum could go bankrupt, things could go bad, who knows? And with the way cable companies are, There's some question as to whether they're gonna make it long-term, because so many people are cutting the cable cord. So, we chose to do the lump sum amount.
90,000?
A year, that's where the 900 comes from, yeah. And if someone wants to see the actual contract, I can get a copy of it, and I'd be happy to bring it to the next. There's another nod, or anyone else? I'm happy to get some copies of it, and be happy to share them with the next board meeting, which is in February, I think on the 21st. All right?
Thank you,
You want me
Jim.
to just hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Oh, that's work.
Jared Kraft, I would like to say, instead of trolling social media and getting upset, why doesn't Brookridge have a Facebook page where they can put out communication? You lecture us, you get upset.
I'm not upset.
Do it yourself, put out the information, let people know what's going on.
There's enough on Facebook.
So there's communication from Brookridge.
Yes, there is. Enough from Brookridge.
From Brookridge, so, wait a minute, Billy.
That's not up to us.
Can I finish and then you can answer, please? Why not have a Facebook page for Brookridge where you guys control it, put the information out, like about the birthday party? Even, for example, when there was an altercation at the gate, people were scared. A simple, we're all okay, we're safe, don't worry. Put it out there, communicate with the residents and let people know. Then you won't have to worry about trolling Facebook. Thank you.
That's been a problem for a long time, right? The communication's been a problem for a long time, right? So what's your suggestion? Should we maybe email? Be honest. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put it out there right now. You talk about social media, that's fine. But we have 2022 board, the ones that are running their mouths they were on the board. And they should have taken care of it then. So that's all we're saying. It is time to stop. And I think you're right. We need to have something to get it out there, whether we do an email to everybody or whatever. Go ahead.
I want to say something else. Please stop criticizing the previous boards. Let's go forward. Let's figure out what we can do together and stop criticizing.
Okay, everybody, I'm fine with that. Let's stop criticizing everybody. And I can understand that. Let's have the previous board stop criticizing this board. That's what we're doing, Jerry.
Let's start here.
Okay, good enough. Maybe everybody could sit down and say how we should do this. Maybe you know how to set up a website so that everything goes out right. What?
There's a lot of people that can get together and figure out. Jerry Kraft, Unit 1. Let's work together. Okay, there's things that I don't like, there's things that you don't like. We're one of thousands. Let's work together as a team. You don't like social media? I like social media. I don't like some things. I get yelled at that I put something on. I get yelled at that I take something off. You guys do it. Put what you want out there. Communicate. Everybody needs to communicate. That's my opinion.
In my opinion, I think we should try to do something.
George, I need 1 minute break.
Need a 1 minute break. Hold on a second.
I say new microphone. New beverage.
Take a go.
eBay's harder.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello.
We got it, go ahead, Linda.
Linda Walls, Unit 4. We've got a website. Why don't we utilize it more? And everybody can get on that. If people have problems getting emails, I didn't get an email about the town hall, but I got an email about the birthday. They both were sent out the same day. I think we need to have a community bulletin board on our webpage, and anything important needs to be put on there so residents can keep up with what is going on in Brookridge.
Thomas, you want one?
Well, I think we do need to come up with a way to communicate. My name is Thomas Frank, Unit 1. The biggest problem that I've seen this year is a very lack of communication. Communication is the backbone of success. We need to communicate more. Just a simple, clear statement would cut down all these rumors and speculations going on social media. Provide the information, and you'll be taking away the abilities to do the rumors. You'll get a lot more positive output. Thank you.
Beverly Epstein, Unit 6. I was told that the office doesn't have control of the website. They have to send the information to someone else and wait for them to post it.
Jim, do you know how that works? I don't know nothing about it. That's not true?
What do you think about it, George?
Good question. We can find out, let you know at the next board meeting. How's that thing? Yeah, you can. Go ahead, Jim.
Ken Walls, Unit 4. You stand up a minute. Jerry Kraft, you do run a social media page, don't you?
Yes.
Is there any solicitation on there that you feel is out of hand?
What do you mean by solicitation?
You know what I mean?
No, I have no idea.
You know.
No, I don't. I want
Do
to clarify.
you approve of all the comments that are made on there?
What, be specific.
I got off your site because it's so negative.
Okay, let me tell you something, sir.
Yes, sir.
You
Go
were
ahead,
also
man.
very demanding and rude, and that was your choice to leave. And if you chose that, I can't say a word about it. If you don't like it, don't look.
You wouldn't.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you.
This ain't.
No, I'm
this is
done.
Something else, but I do want to bring out that your social media site's not that good. It's not sharing good information.
Then don't go there. It's your choice.
I'm not on there.
Well, good for you. You made a choice. You made a choice, and I respect that. No one's forcing you to go there. Okay, there's one other thing I wasn't gonna say, but I'm gonna say it. I think that the board, this is one incident, and I'm not gonna go into it, but I'm gonna say it right now and right here. Jim Westbrook, wherever you are. I think that the board needs to be held to high standards, and they need to respect the people, the residents, and sometimes people get out of hand. They need to be held to the same standards that they treat our residents. And I think I've said enough, and I don't want to go into any more detail, but I had to say it.
Hi, this is going to something else. Karen Button, and I'm in Unit 4. And I'm sober, and this is my fourth winter here, and I spent 3 winters in Zephyr Hills at a park that was totally different than this, the most fun park I ever looked at. Everybody helped everybody, and we had a good time. Social media is here to stay. You're gonna have good on social media, and you're gonna have bad. And Jerry has kept everybody informed. There's always gonna be bad on there, and the first thing everybody goes to look at, what are you gonna look at? I searched that social media from top to bottom. And don't tell me the board doesn't look at it, because you do. You're gonna get some viewpoints from it. Anyway, I'm about 2.5 hours from Minneapolis. I live in Minnesota. And I'm about 1 hour from Fargo. Okay? So take that into consideration. Remember, Minnesota had Jesse Ventura for a governor. 4 things in 3 minutes. I'm going to talk about the party. I have so many sad neighbors that didn't know about it, didn't know what was going on, and didn't think they were going to have to come here and at a sit-down dinner. They thought there was going to be something fun they could do. You're never going to make them on sad. I'm talking about a 94-year-old lady who was crying about it. I told her I would come buy her a ticket. She said, no, everybody can't come. I have an idea for all the residents that are not able to go to the party or don't want to go to it. A lot of people don't want to go or have anything to do with it. I know that. I'm suggesting that all residents who are not able to go to the 50-year celebration get to purchase a nice t-shirt with Brookridge 50-year logo on it. 2 shirts are going to be $5. 1 shirt's going to be $3. And I'll have them prepaid and order the size. Let everybody here have a shirt. Do the advertising for it. Everything might satisfy you. When people go over, at least get a shirt. Okay, but we have to remember there's rain and it's going to take a ton of volunteer work. Where are you going to get the chairs, the tables? 4,000 people are here. I don't know where you're going to put it. Where are you going to put the cars? It's kind of impossible. I understand why it's made smaller, so let's do something really simple. Either that or give us all $50, scratch the party and give us all $50 HOA dues free in December 24. Okay. And we go out and buy our own dinner for $50 and have a good one. Okay, number 1. I'm going to delete all of my gates entry, my vendors, my family, my friends. I will not let anybody enter unless they call me. Because when they call me, including the vendors, including my family, including my friends, the only way I can control that steering wheel is they pull over to the administration office, and I don't care if it's my bug sprayer. I'm going to drive my car down there. They're going to follow me to my house, and I'm going to drive them back to the exit, and they will be going 30 miles an hour behind me. I can't control only the car I am driving. So don't take people's privileges. You take that parking stamp away and they all have to go through and bug the people there. I can't control a car. I don't know if you agree with me, but only the person driving that car should be. That's a huge contribution here. Okay. One of the things, 2 things. We really like the exercise room. Right now, there's only 2 bikes that work. All of the other exercise material is really for muscle builders. There's not things we can use there. All kinds of people leave this park to go exercise. We need ellipticals, we need treadmills, and don't talk to me about insurance. I have 4 businesses. If somebody slips by that pool in the water, you have to have insurance already for them. When you go to an exercise center, you sign a waiver. If somebody slips by that pool in the water, you have to have insurance already for them. When you go to an exercise center, you sign a waiver, and only if you get hurt by the exercise thing that falls on your head can they sue you. They can't. If a bingo player on Friday comes here from another park and falls in the parking lot and breaks his leg, they're going to sue you. We have insurance for people falling by the pool, people getting hurt at the dance floor. We need better exercise materials so we can all use it. People don't go. I go up there and they go, there's nothing here I can use. All parked our age and younger people are ellipticals and treadmills. The last thing is, we have a lot of animals. I do rescue animals. I have a dog and a cat. These animals are not registered. I have pit bulls walk by my house. I have I take my dog in my yard. I can't even go out there because people are walking by me. Those dogs need to be registered. This is a city, not a park. They need to have vaccinations. We need to know if they've been vaccinated. They need to have, so we can find them. They need to have identification on them. There's loose dogs and cats around here all the time. So please, somebody take care of our animals.
Okay, I got one thing that I do have to say about this birthday party, because I did say it on social media. So I'm disappointed, and I'm sick and tired of hearing if you would have volunteered, things would have been different. I don't think they would have been any different. I just think that all the residents weren't taken into consideration, because a lot of people wouldn't want to sit down dinner. And you going up there saying it's done, it's the way it is like a smack in the face. Can I please finish, and then you can say what you want? I am not saying that the volunteers didn't do a great job, but we've got a lot of people that are snowbirds, a lot of people that don't want to be on those committees because they're uncomfortable for one reason or another. We have plenty of time, so why not consider, instead of saying too bad, that's the way it is, maybe think about getting some food trucks or something. Let's do something for the whole community. It's just a thought.
Okay, and I'm gonna go on your thought, because when you mentioned food trucks, this has already been discussed. Like I said, this has been going on for the last 4 or 5 months, and everybody, I know that there's people in here that would like to volunteer and they can't. That's fine. We're only asking if you can volunteer, please do so. It doesn't matter whether it's this committee or any other committee. And the thing is, the food trucks were discussed. But when we said, you know, how many people can we put in the hall to eat? 350. It's not like you're holding a dancing. Well, there's the man back there. We get our information from your superintendent back there. Anyways, and I didn't say so be it. We tossed this around with food trucks, with vendors, different ideas for this 50+1. We came up with a dinner, and even as of this morning, we were even talking about food trucks. But when we mentioned about possibly the Oktoberfest, that would give us a lot more time. Yes, snowbirds are here in October. Well, I got 3 neighbors behind me that are here in October. But you know, but this isn't all about the snowbirds. It's about everybody that lives here. I have the phone. I have the microphone. It's about everybody that lives here. You know what? I'm going to say something, and then George, you take this over. You know, we were voted onto this board. If you have a comment, wait until I'm finished, and then you can take the microphone, okay? Don't whining. Why don't you want the truth? You people want.
I didn't say whining. I said pointing. That's disrespectful.
How do you figure? Is that really? Oh, sorry. Then he needs to not talk under his breath until I'm finished speaking. I don't like to be this way, but you know what? Certain people get you to be the way that you are. I'm not one for being disrespectful. Never was, okay? Never was. But when you hear this, and you hear this, and how come you can't do this? And how come you can't do that? Well, then, you know what? Then come up here, be on the board, and do everything that you want us to do or that you don't want us to do. You voted for us to be transparent, and as far as transparency, there's been transparency since we got on this board since last March. There is nothing that this board has kept before anybody. Our treasurer brings all his reports to every meeting. We discuss everything. There is nothing that we have to hide. You people hired, your residents here voted for us to represent you in this community. What I do for you, I do for me. There's no difference. Get angry here because you hear this and you hear that and say, well, how long are you going to keep your mouth shut? You gotta speak the truth. Well, I'm speaking the truth, and this is what it is.
Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, my name's Richard Weiss, Unit 6, and I'm a smoker, and I'm running for board, okay? And if you vote for me, great. If you don't vote for me, that's fine too. I was watching the senators talking to the different people from Facebook and other things the other day, and they were admonishing them for causing people stress. Some children under 13 and that have committed suicide because of some of the horrible things people say and do on the internet, on Facebook and other things like that. This is a retirement community, everybody. We're here to try to enjoy our golden years, not fight with each other, not point fingers at each other. I'm running for board to try to make improvements here and everything for everybody. But pointing fingers at everybody, talking nasty to everybody, sure doesn't make me feel like I want to be on this board in some ways. But I'm running to try to make things good. My family's been here. I think if you were at the Meet the Candidates meeting, I'm probably one of the longest families that have been here since 1980, okay? And I have 2 lots. If there are suggestions, I think a lot of suggestions should be put in writing so that we can look at them logically. Look at things logically. So we can decide. There are many people in this community have no email, have no internet, okay? Don't go on Facebook, all right? They're not as savvy, technically savvy, as a lot of you other people here, okay? So I look at, we're trying to work together. We're a community. We're supposed to love each other, you know? Maybe it feels good to point fingers and yell at people and everything. It doesn't solve anything. You know, please work together with everybody. You know, then we can solve our problems. We can make it a wonderful place to be. That's all I've got to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Al Reynolds, Unit 3. And by the way, I wasn't talking to you when I was talking to my wife. Nonetheless, all snowbirds aren't here because you have 3 people living behind you. Okay, we're here 6, 7 months a year. We don't get here until usually November, December, but we stay long. So there's a lot of people here that aren't here that early. So keep that in mind. Second, and the main thing I'm here about is, and I'm tired of being told all this all the time, speeding, stop sign. We're told that this is being looked at. Well, I don't see it being done. I'm going down Boulevard today, doing 30 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour going by me. Stop signs, and I've talked to Dick, and he said, oh, we wrote 39 tickets last month. Well, I was in law enforcement for 45 years. 39 tickets is no, okay? I wrote that in 2 hours sometimes, but nonetheless, okay, they need to start getting out there and doing something, okay? Because, you know, I almost have rear-ended a golf cart because somebody didn't want a stop sign, wanted to run the stop sign, and I didn't. I did what I was supposed to do. You got people here, they blow right through the stop sign, don't even slow down. And it's the same people every day. And I begged Dick to come out, or the other girl, come out, sit here, just sit here. You don't even have to write a ticket, just sit here and look. Okay, watch it for a day. I'll sit out here with you. I volunteered my time today because I got a lot of experience, 27 years in traffic alone, okay, plus another 18 in regular criminal. So, you know, I know what I'm talking about, and nothing's getting done. And we need to start thinking about what can we do? Can we bring the sheriff's department in?
Yeah.
Can we do some enforcement? That would be my one question.
If you want to bring the cops in here, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you what, then everybody's going to have to be, every golf cart's going to have to be licensed. This is the reason why they don't want to do it, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. They don't want to make all the golf carts be licensed. Our streets aren't wide enough, they tell us. They come from Hernando County Sheriff's Department, our streets are not wide enough.
Okay, then why is High Point have Okay, and I want to tell you, I was on the traffic safety committee, which I don't think is going to be in existence anymore tonight. Not in the least. I went down there and I measured their streets. Okay, their streets are no better nor worse than ours. They're public roadways now. And I'm not asking to be public roadways. They have golf carts. The only requirement they have on their golf carts is they have to come in once a year, show that they have insurance, whether it be a policy off your home or wherever they want to do it, and get a sticker, they put it on their golf cart. That's it, okay? So, I mean, it's not a big deal. I went down there and talked to them about it.
Okay, but have you got with Dick for that? Do you want me to set it up for you?
I'm not dealing with Dick anymore, okay? Dick lied to me, and that's the end of that. I went into it, okay, and that's the end of the discussion. You know, he asked, and I'll tell you real quick, he asked me to help him do some stuff. When I came in to offer, he said, I don't need you anymore. I said, I got 2 people from the outside. They don't even live here, but he's using people from the outside. I said, I'm done with that.
Can I answer a couple of your points? First of all, there's significantly more patrolling than there was 2 or 3 months ago. The number of tickets that they issued, and I call them violations rather than tickets, because they're not a ticket, there's no points on your insurance. You don't pay what you would pay to the county, triple or 10 times whatever we would get for violation. There's more presence out there, and I think most people have seen that. We have 2 trucks. One, obviously, is going into a shop because we had an accident with a resident. I think if you give it a chance, I've noticed, at least when I've been out, that there seems to be, people have slowed down a little. I think we've had better luck on Country Club, and you can disagree, I get that.
You know there's only one truck, I'm sorry, laser before.
Right, they do one at a time, I get that. But they're out, and again, they wrote 37 tickets, you said that's not a lot, I get that. But we're doing something more than we have been. It's not, contrary to what I read on a comment that my wife showed me on social media, where we're charging, and we're getting $70,000 in revenue. 37 tickets times $50 and $1,850, that's what, 2,200, whatever per month, 22,000. It's not a profit-making venture. We want people to slow down. I've been talking in how many meetings, probably 7 or 8 in a row. Slow down, stop speeding. This isn't Talladega. It's not the Daytona 500. Please slow down. The person that you're going to hit with your car is going to be one of my friends, one of my neighbors, one of your friends, one of your neighbors. I find that ridiculously distasteful that people are reckless with their speed as well as the stop signs. Stop at the stop signs and stop speeding. It's that simple. Now, I'll touch base with Dick.
Okay.
I think, first of all, I think you're selling him short. I see what he does every day.
Well, maybe.
He's very involved with the community. I think, first of all, he's been on the job roughly a month and 2 days. Let's give him a chance before we decide he's not doing a good job.
Well, you know, if you all can hear me, the reason I doubt, he came to me and said he wanted me to help him, okay? And that's great, I'll volunteer. I mean, I think I got probably more experience with traffic than anybody in this room or anybody that lives here, okay? But then he lied to me, and that's what made me tick, okay? But the other thing is, and this is why I wanted it to come out, or the girl to come out and sit with me. It's the same people, okay? It's not like different people every day, okay? It's the exact same people on our street. I can show you the car, I can sit there and point it out to you every single day when they run that stop sign going 30-some miles an hour on up our street. And the motorcycle that races down there every day, it's the same people. And they need to take some initiative and start talking to these people. Okay, and I know, I know they're not armed, okay, but they need, I think a lot, if they just went and talked to these people, like the ones that I've complained about, I think it would solve a lot of problems, okay?
Let me spend some time with Dick. I'll see him tomorrow and all next week, but I'd be happy to bring that up. But I do think we need to give him a chance to do what I would call his job, and maybe reevaluate it at the next board meeting and see where it stands. And I'll ask him to speak at the next meeting. Yeah, we had a comment back
We
here.
got a lady here, okay, go ahead. She's gonna go after.
All I wanted to say is we need to stop this mentality, war against the people. You refer to us as you people. We're all people of Brookridge. Let's all work together. All of us, whether you're on the board or not, we have to all work together. We have to start out and move forward.
It's true. I agree with you.
We have to do it, so let's make an effort.
Jerry made a comment, and I've said this before, probably to several people. As a board member, we have a higher standard. We should be held to a higher standard, just like I expect, our senators, our state senators, our governor, our president, everybody that's representing the people should be held to a higher standard. And if you're not willing to be held to that standard, then you should not be on a board. It's really that simple. Right, I agree with that.
When you say everybody wants to work together, we're all one community. George, and I think what's real disturbing to me, and I think it's to everybody, when you go, like if you go online, you're looking at stuff, next door, who do we have on there? All he's really talking about is 2020. He needs to just back off. But shut his mouth. He doesn't need to be talking to anybody. Well, I tell you what, I'm tired of it. He did some things to me and it's wrong. Well, I'm just saying. We are moving forward. You want to get it off your chest, Jerry? I want to get it off my chest. Yeah, well, hopefully we can move forward. The only thing I'm going to say is, as far as the one that said 51st anniversary, really, he should have done it when he was vice president.
This is why we can't go forward.
Well, okay, well, we can't go forward then. You want to talk? I'm going to talk.
We can't keep criticizing the past board. They did good, they made mistakes. Do you want to be criticized for your mistakes? We have to move forward
I do every day.
and stop going back. And you know what? I'm going to say this. There's people in this room that go on Facebook anonymously or not, and they say they don't like Facebook. Okay?
Yeah. I'm not here to fight with you, Jerry. I'm just saying, no. Anybody else like the same thing this young lady right here?
Kathy, Unit 3. I live on Rialto. I took a couple of weeks out of work. I sat in my front window at 5:30 in the morning. I counted 25 cars that went through the stop sign. Didn't even stop. 25 cars at 5:30 in the morning. Okay? There's plenty of places for code enforcement to hide and see the people that are doing this.
Where is it at though on Rialto? You can
Right
tell me
out
that?
here, yeah. More.
Midmore?
I've been saying this
That's shot term?
2.5 years. 2.5 years we've been saying it.
Rialto.
Yeah.
Out of Rialto.
The golf course.
I was shocked.
That's where I almost got hit in the golf cart. Because I stopped like I'm supposed
I
to.
know, it's funny because my sister lives on Rialto, but she lives, yeah, and she had even told me too about that racetrack, the way it is back there. I agree with what you're saying.
They don't stop.
And they come down this
All right.
way, that return lane.
And my second thing I wanted to say, everybody's saying, or you're saying that we don't have volunteers in here.
Well, we do.
Okay, so let me finish, please. You can go to the high schools. There are children that are in high schools looking for volunteer hours to help them with their credits for college. They have to have so many. So if we have a problem reaching out, you can always reach out to the high schools, just like they do for Toys for Tots. Those children that are in ROTC get credit for doing this. And they would be more than glad to come and help.
I don't know if you can do that here.
Right.
Jim, can I?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and find out.
We can find out though,
Jim, can we legally, I'm sure we can legally, but can we put something on our website or do we have to go through a third party to put it on there? If we could put stuff on our website, what's going on every day, or every couple of days,
I believe Arlene has the ability to put something on there. I don't know the mechanism of how she does it. but I believe she can put almost anything on there in a less than a day or so.
So there, we solved our problem. Now we gotta get it done.
Now we gotta get done.
I will be in the admin building tomorrow and Monday. I'd be happy to spend some time with her and see what we can put on. And for the people who look at the stuff that I put on there, I put on the treasurer's report, the balance statement, the CD portfolio. You can see that, you'll see that on Monday. It'll be there under financial documents. What I'm gonna have her do is post a separate little banner or bulletin or something, just as a test to see how that process works. And then I'll get back to the next meeting and report back, if that'd be okay.
Peggy Justice, Unit 3. My question is, since the board says they don't really monitor the website that Jerry kind of runs for us, which is that, why doesn't Arlene go on and then she can dispute in things that are incorrect?
It's like saying if you don't like it, don't look at it. That's what.
But that doesn't do any good, because people look at it.
Yeah.
But why not?
So it doesn't.
No, but I just mean, if someone from the office or the board would kind of monitor it, they can say, no, that is incorrect information. This is the correct information, like what happened at the gate or anything like that. And also, do the golf carts have speedometers? I understand some don't. If they fly down my street, sometimes they take the turn on two wheels, so it's like, you know, if I saw a lady the other day with a walker trying to walk, and they come flying by, they're gonna send her to the moon. I know, it's ridiculous.
George passed me on Brookridge Boulevard the other day, and he wasn't doing, I think it was going Saturday. I don't know. Go ahead,
George, I'd like to answer your question. Almost a year ago, when I ran for the board, I committed in front of everybody here probably, that I would not participate in social media. I saw it as a negative, I saw it as disruptive. I guess I'd like to hear everybody's input, maybe just by show of hands. Maybe when the next round starts in March of this year, maybe I do go on social media and respond, because there is, I don't want to call them half-truths, there are inaccuracies on there, and I'd be happy to respond. What are your people's thoughts? There's a glowing recommendation. Maybe I could Jerry, and she could show me how to set up a page. If people think that's a good idea, I'd be happy to post on it, but I made a commitment that for this term that I would not participate in it. And to this point, I've kept that.
Robin's next, and then you go. Tim.
Put it out there real true. What it is, and people gonna have comments no matter what. They're just gonna have comments.
Okay, go ahead, Robin.
Robin Napier, Unit 3. I wanted to tell everybody that I'm so proud of our community when it comes to the fires that we've had in this past month or two. How everybody that stepped up and came in and brought all kinds of products that people needed, brought money. People went over and painted, cleaned out places, tore down stuff. It's really exciting to know we've got good people. So, maybe we should put them on social media.
Robin, and to piggyback off that comment, I know the men's club had a breakfast in January. All the proceeds from that breakfast went to Barbara, the one whose house is on Starcroft, maybe? Sandhurst, thank you. I got the first letter right. But I believe it was well over $700. So I think I'd like to speak for Lauren Williams, and well, I probably shouldn't. He'd probably want to say thank you to the community for coming out for that breakfast and supporting that great cause. The Men's Club does one each month. There's one this month in February. So it just shows that we're, as residents and members, we're helping members in need.
That would have been something I wish you could have put on media, that you were going to donate, that might have brought more people out.
Right. Right. That was, Jerry just mentioned it was on social media. That's how people find that out. So social media can be good, and and I'll take everybody's recommendation, and I'll be happy to join it in March.
All right, thank you, Robert, for bringing that up, because it's a very good point. I've lived here for 19 years, and I have noticed that no matter what severity someone might be in problem with, there are people that step up and help. It could be a minor situation, or it could be a tragic situation like a fire. I really do think if we start increasing communication with information that is factual, we will stop a lot of this social media, rumor, and issues. We need to start giving more information. I found out about the celebration from social media. It was not communicated to the community. It should have been in a town hall, it should have been in a meeting, there should have been ongoing conversations about it. And it's just like, let's volunteer, and then we find out by a flyer.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I'd just like to expound on something that Jim mentioned
Tracy,
about
can you
social.
come up here, honey, so
Sure.
they can hear you?
Linda, you're next.
Thank you.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I'd just like to expound on something that Jim had said about social media. I'm not a partaker myself, but I just like to say that I have heard, being on this birthday committee, that there's been an ex-president that was one of our board presidents that's on social media, has a great presence there, and is kind of dragging people into things. And he doesn't even live here. So how can we allow somebody that doesn't even live in our community anymore to make this kind of nonsense? It's just foolish to me, but I think it would be great. We would be better served, I think, with somebody like Jim that we all trust, that he could get out there and maybe make some peace with this. Thank you.
All right, Linda, get right up.
Hey, Ken, you better watch it.
Linda Walls, Unit 4. Yes, we have a great community. A lot of people pulled together for the people with the fires. It was mentioned about the men's club, social dance club, our last dance, share the wealth. We sold tickets. We split the share the wealth like we normally do. We collected $500 through share the wealth, and social dance matched that. So we gave a check to TJ that lost his home. And it was great that everybody participated that was at the dance. And it's time for everybody to pull together, work together. We're not only a community, but we're supposed to be a family together too. We all came here to retire and enjoy our golden years. Let's enjoy them. Let's have peace in the community. I think it's time for it.
Here, here.
Hey, also, can I just bring this up? As Jim was telling us about the money that's coming in. So if we do that with the money coming in, maybe people ought to start thinking about what they would like and start jotting it down, putting it out there. If we could get that social media side up, get it running, it'd be a good place to put that stuff on there. And I don't know how far it would go, but go ahead. Hold on.
I'll come to you.
I'm gonna.
Here you go, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
No.
It ain't working.
I got it right in there.
Okay.
Hello. Can everybody hear me? First things first, I should probably rectify a boo-boo I made at the last meeting candidates. I said, my name is Kathy Lane, I'm from Unit 4. And I said that I was a snowbird, but I thought a snowbird was somebody that just like came in and went out. And I go visit my grandchildren a couple months every year, and I've been told that doesn't make me a snowbird. So I guess I'm a full-time resident. So I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. I want to make sure that everything is honest and above board. I've been listening to everybody and hearing everybody talk about getting along and transparency and what have you. I'm kind of wondering, how come we can't all get together and have some form of a meeting that would help rectify, keep the Facebook. I live in a community that doesn't have Facebook. My neighbors are 80, 85, 87, 89, 100. They don't even go on social media. So I'm telling them what's going on. I just think that needs to be rectified. So any way we can do that in order to be able to help our older community out that I'm headed for, I am all for that. So that was all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? You?
Come on.
Oh, I'm running.
I just want to say what,
And you can tell me where you live.
Larry Mistrutter, I'm the guy who counts cars going through, stop signs, and, I'm with this young lady. I can count a lot in a day, but I'm with her, who's up here. She can, text messages. Everybody has a telephone today. So if you don't have the social media to go to, use a telephone and text these people. Everybody reads their texts. How many people in there don't have a telephone? I don't see any hands.
We know some that don't text.
Yeah.
Age.
If you can read, if you can read and open, I mean, I have people in my business, I say, take a picture of this. They say, I don't know how to. Okay, I understand that. But you know how to read. You can read what I just texted you.
But they don't have text. Yeah, there are some older people out there that just don't have.
Really? Okay. All right.
Or they don't have cell phones, they still use the old landlines.
Oh. I have both, but you know,
It's hard to get to everybody.
and you have a book. I don't have Spectrum TV, but in some of the developments I've seen, what goes on in the neighborhood is in Channel 1. And it'll say, what's going on in Brookridge? And then if you have TV, you can go there and see that. Yeah. Just get everybody this, well, I'll tell you what, if you want to go to that, just get everybody to put a sign on the back of their golf cart. And it would be free advertising. I just have one other question. Is there anybody here from code enforcement? No. This may be a rumor, I don't know. Is it legal or illegal for Brookridge to give tickets out?
Okay, I can answer that. They're not giving out tickets, they're giving out citations. Am I right or wrong, Jim? However it goes. Violation. Violation.
I had a $50 ticket.
They're violations.
I had a $50 ticket. I
We
got
don't
to
give
pay.
out tickets, we give out violations to someone next to it.
It's the same thing.
Well, there's some.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you what, give me a name when you get done texting. You can text me or call me. I mean, I had 67 texts yesterday and today of unhappy people. So.
Okay, but,
Oh,
okay, but
all right, let me
again,
know.
it was a visitor. So again, that's the whole thing. You can't control visitors. You cannot, you should, if you're driving someone else's car, you're the one who's getting in trouble. You cannot violate the person who lives in here because someone was coming to visit him.
You got that, okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to address some of these because I am on the ABCR committee and we do have every month people that have gotten violations and things like that. And some of the people that you listen to are legit. We had one lady, for instance, she got a violation because someone was parked on her grass, but it wasn't her. It was a vendor
who came to her house that, they didn't let her know that they were coming, so they just parked on her grass, and she said, I didn't authorize them to come. Well, that was gone. These are like some of the things, but I know there's something that, we're gonna be working on, because I personally, there's a lot of people that get their violation notices where their privileges are taken away. A lot of people don't use the pool, that's one. A lot of people don't even come up here. They come in the gate, they go to their house and be done with it. Me, some of the things I don't agree with, and when we start talking about this, I'm gonna be very instrumental in what it should be. I personally do not feel that, okay, if you do something, if you get a violation, if you get a speeding ticket, it's a violation, so you pay the $50 or whatever it is. The privileges, we're not in grammar school, we're not in kindergarten, you know, what privileges are you, this is me talking, what privileges are we taking away from our residents to come through the gate? They know a lot of them don't use the pool, they don't even come up here. All they want to do is come through, okay, if they speed, then you should get a violation, absolutely. Right, the person that's speeding, whether it be a vendor, because vendors have been picked up too, and that's another thing too. I personally, once they start doing this, and I think they might, I don't agree with, I personally don't agree with the taking privileges away, I don't. No, we really don't. I mean, we're not a bunch of kids here.
I think it needs to wait.
Go ahead, Darren. You know, you want to, if you're speeding, you get a violation, you pay the $50 and be done with it.
That's the way I see it.
Gary, Unit 4. My question is, who decided that? Who made that decision?
That's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah, but why is it still on the book? You don't agree with it?
Well, that's, we're gonna be working on
I
it.
don't agree with is that you get the privileges taken away from you like going to the pool, government community center. That's wrong. People come up here, they go to church on Sundays or whatever, they have Bible studies.
It is wrong. I pay my fee every month for those privileges, and you've got no right to take them away from me.
We've lived here 10 years. When we first moved in, my husband got a ticket. I'm sorry, I'm Pam Irvine. I have no clue what unit I'm in. We worked full-time when we first moved here. We worked 10 years full-time. We were here 8 o'clock in the morning, we drive out, we drive back in 8 o'clock at night. That's all we did. I'm retired now, and I'm doing everything. Okay, I go to the pool, I ride my bike, I drive my golf cart, I go to dance, exercise, whatever. And I love it. Okay, I don't like to hear all this fighting, but what I'm gonna tell you about the ticket thing. When we first moved in here, my husband got a ticket, 8 miles over, you know. So we had to pay the $50 fine. We lost our gate entrance. We had to go in the other side like you're a guest. Every time you came in, give your name and address. Then pool privilege we lost. And I said, he can be lucky it wasn't over the summer when my granddaughter came and she couldn't have come to the pool. You know, it's ridiculous. I'll pay a fine, but don't take what I pay my $50 dues all the time for privileges to live here. You know, I'll pay $50, but don't take everything else. And I want to say,
You're right, though. I mean, we don't need to be losing our privileges.
you know, to stop at the gate and act like you violated something, like you did something outrageous, that you have to drive in like a visitor, you know, it's ridiculous. But another thing I want to say, all the activities here are wonderful. The exercise class is wonderful. The dances are wonderful. The social Wednesday night is wonderful. And we don't want to keep it getting booted out every time something else comes up from Wednesday nights.
Thomas Fryman, Unit 2. I can solve the suspension problem right now. Florida statute 7/2305, number 4. The very last sentence said, when a debt is paid, a suspension is lifted. That's it.
What he said was, once you pay your fine, that under the statute, it says, under 720, it says that John, there, I got something, tell me. Yeah, it's all over. And are we doing that? I don't know. You know, Jim?
I don't believe we are.
Okay. Does anybody else want to talk, or are we gonna call?
Beverly Epstein, Unit 6. I've been here going on 9 years, and every year we hear the same thing about the traffic and the speeding and the stop signs. And they kept trying different things to curb it, and nothing was working. And that's why they went into the suspensions, and it really is unfair for the suspensions. But this has been going on years, and we still hear it tonight about they're not stopping at stop signs and they're speeding. So I don't know what the answer is. Is that making people more conscious of what they're doing?
Yeah, well, we don't need to be taking your privilege away from
Right.
you. What, if you pay every single month, and I don't care, I might get the rap on this, but I tell you what, we pay our dues, we should not lose our privileges at the clubhouse.
Or anywhere.
Violation. Al Reynolds, Unit 3. You need to, Gates Entry needs to be worked on before I got a notice from Gates Entry that somebody was visiting me back in November. We weren't even here yet. We were all home. Okay, if somebody comes through speeding, okay, under my name, who's gonna get the violation? Me, I'm not even here. I don't even know who these people are. I have about 5 entries on my gate entry right now. I have no clue who these people are. Okay, so we need to get that system really working right before you start, issuing violations.
I do know that they just purchased 2 more iPads, right, Jim? And they're all up to date. The ones that we have, I think, were like 1910. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's what it was. The information's just not there. But now they're updating them, putting them. And then we should be getting them probably next week. Let's see what happens.
Is it up to the board to make this change? To do away with suspensions?
If I had it my way, it is.
Well, you are
I'm
on
gonna
the
find
board.
out for you. This must be a protocol we have to do. You might have to go through you might have to change something through the,
Rules and Regulation Committee?
rules and regulations.
Doesn't the article address that you just read? Doesn't that address it?
But it says in there, but it doesn't say it in our thing, and that's what people,
That wasn't Brookridge.
you know, I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
Whatever way we have to do this, where we have to sit down with, code or whomever it's going to be, we're gonna do this because, I mean, I've been here over.
Is it Mike Millie?
What there? Oh, Mike, oh, sorry. Millie and Mike. No, go ahead, George, that's all right.
I just wanted to say that when you come to the pool, you sign in and give your number, whatever. When I come up here to exercise, bingo, church, the dances, you don't sign in. So you're taking privileges away that unless you know who I am and know that I got a violation, I can still come, So what does that do for anybody? So just get rid of it.
I agree. With you. It needs to go.
Yeah, well, I thought when you read that, I didn't know it was stateside.
It's gotta go through the rules and regulations to be changed. You can vote on it. We can put it on the agenda. And see where we go with that. Maybe we can get it on for the next 2 weeks.
Our meeting is what, the 21st?
Yeah.
Let's see if our meeting is.
Right. All right, I can put it on
We
there.
can propose something.
Anybody else would like to talk?
Kelly Brock, Unit 4. I'm wondering where you stand on us being fined for the vendors. Because a lot of times, I don't even get to talk to the actual technician that comes to my home. I'm talking to an appointment taker.
You don't get fined for vendors.
Okay, so we're
No,
not,
you don't get fined for vendors.
okay, well, a couple board meetings ago, they had discussed getting fined for
No.
vendors, so that's a no?
No.
Okay. And also on the 50th, I feel that was an opportunity missed to bring the board and the community together. I could have been one of the first people to purchase a ticket because I'm sure as a lot of people know, I'm here sometimes from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. volunteering my time. And I could have been one of the first, but I chose not to because everybody wasn't invited.
I tell you what, we can discuss. All right, anybody else?
Yeah.
Mike wants to go.
Mike Cabinet, Unit 4. I'm finally just asked a question. We put a lot of talk, and I'm hoping a lot of thought in changing the apparatus at the front gate. Why is the outbound still not working?
Well, what I understand is there's still 2,100 barcodes that's never entered the system. So instead of people going to the gate and the arm doesn't go up, they shut that down until they get it back up. But I can find out tomorrow. I will call tomorrow and ask where we are at. We need to get it done.
And I asked the question because in my former life, working for the electric utility, we used to put RFID chips in all of our protective equipment. I had to catalog 350,000 individual items. It took me less than a week to do it. And that was back using Windows 95. So when I hear that it takes all this time.
No, but you know what, the people gotta stop hitting that gate too. Every time they.
Well, that has nothing, that in and of itself has nothing to do with
Well, the.
populating the data. That should be done. And the other thing I just read in, one of the other things that I'm happy to see is the fact that we want to include snowbirds because they're, again, they pay their money, they should get a vote. What we need to do, according to our bylaws, which were last amended in 2023, it still says, and I quote, all directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a member.
Right.
So,
We are members.
no, it hasn't been changed. The last date was, it had to be amended. Because the last amendment was last year. So before you actually have your next election, this needs to be changed. Because if you don't, it sets it up for legal questions.
George, what did the gentleman say? What was he?
George.
Hold on, what'd you say?
What was he,
It says in the rules and regulations or the bylaws that if you have to reside in Brookridge year-round, be on the board.
Right.
But that's not what it says on the, if you go to a different, if you go to 720, that's not what it's saying.
And we spoke to the attorney back in November, I believe it was November, and he was crystal clear, at least I thought he was crystal clear. 720 says that any resident, whether they own 1% or whether they own 100% of that property within the community, they're able to run for a board member. Our bylaws are not, as you said, they have not been updated. We submitted that to the attorney, and because of the way the voting was done, he would not approve that to be submitted. And that's why we wanted to put it on to the next ballot. 720 trumps your bylaws. 720 is a Florida statute that we have to. You would have to have a vote and it would be more than 60 days after, but that's correct. Yes, according to the attorney, yes. Because we're following the spirit and the intent of 720. As maybe you remember, or maybe you don't remember, the vote that was on the last ballot was roughly a 2-to-1 approval to have snowbirds be on the committee before we found out that it was a 720 rule. I don't have the exact numbers, but it was like 2-to-1. How are we doing on time, by the way, guys?
I think we should, we're good, we can take maybe another 25 questions. We can go home.
Okay, Gary again. I'm just curious, who told you that that was the reason that the arm doesn't work properly? Because if they can't get out, how can they get in?
Because that side over there is linked to everything over there, is what they tell me. You know, well, I can find out. It's a good question. That's a good question. Go ahead.
The gate, I brought this up to Dick, and I asked him, why do we have the gates closed? Okay, this is only going out, not coming in. Are we taking these people captured, you know, to rob people coming in? And no, they aren't. He said, no, we want to get them out as soon as we can. I said, you got a guard coming out there, flipping that gate up and down, up and down. Okay, I don't mind it, like at night when they're there and we're, you know, things are so close them. I don't have an issue with that. But during the day, this is why they're getting hit. Okay, going up and down, they're wearing out. It's just they need to have them within the.
Okay, and about the gate, this is another thing too that I personally feel about it. When visitors are coming in, they're vetted. All the information is given at the gate. You know, where they're going, license plate number, okay? So that information is already put in when you're coming through. My thing is, if they've already been vetted coming in, why do we have to have the gate down when they're going out? No, I see this myself, I see it all the time, and I said, you know, why? Because they're already being checked coming in. Why do we have to have the gate going up?
Dick agreed, even he agreed. He said, we're not trying to keep them prisoners, just let them go, you won't get them. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason though, I'm of the understanding is people that are coming in, they're not supposed to be here. They're coming in on the outbound. They are coming in on the outbound.
I haven't seen that yet, but I say.
Well, they can't, well, they could right now, I guess you can bust it off.
And like I said, I told him, close them at night, when the guard, I think there's usually only one guard there at night in the shed. At night, close them at a certain time, and it would be great, you know, and that makes sense, but during the day, you got one guy sitting there opening and closing that gate, opening and closing that gate.
Robin, go ahead.
Thank you, George. I wanted to get back one more time to the tickets for the birthday. We still have tickets available, right? So it's not as if they've all been sold out. We're not sold out, right?
We have about another 60 to go.
50 or 60? Yeah, so if people want them, they can get them, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'd be doing.
Yes.
I mean, we don't do that many at breakfast, you know, 250. And I think that's probably what we were kind of looking at, right? The sit downs for like the breakfast, they sell about 200 tickets. So to think that 350, that's more than we probably will even have. I doubt that 350 will show. Who knows?
We're selling, so.
I know, more to go. Kelly brought in for, I don't think it's that there's tickets available. I think a lot of people are upset that the entire community was not invited to a function. I mean, I know we can't have the entire community in here, but if we would have had it at maybe a different time of the year, we could have done something outside where everybody's invited, they can come and go. I mean, I just feel that it's an opportunity to bring the board and the community together.
Go ahead, Jim.
There was a question here in the back row. about the incident that happened at the guard shack. It was probably 4 or 6 weeks ago. Dick addressed it at a meeting, and I'll try and paraphrase what he said. There was a gentleman who came in roughly 3 in the morning. He was in an unmarked tow truck, so there's no markings on it. He came in, he did not have a name of who he wanted to see. He did not have an address. He just said he was gonna meet somebody to bring gas in for an Uber driver, which was unlikely because there was no Uber driver that came in the last 30 minutes before that. There was a confrontation. They pushed the panic button. Roger was also, he was the gentleman who drives around, happened to be in the clubhouse. He called 911. The police came. They ended up escorting the gentleman out of here. Those are kind of the highlights of it. Okay. Great question. Where did the knife thing come from? One of the gentlemen that was in the guardhouse felt threatened. The tow truck driver made threatening moves to him, and he had a small pocket knife in his thing, and he pulled it out. Now, is that proper? That's for another discussion, but that was the situation there. Our people probably were not in danger, but after the High Point incident, everybody's ultra nervous, ultra conservative, ultra scared, maybe, especially at 4 in the morning with what I believe is the most ridiculous story. He's come to deliver gas to somebody when he doesn't have the address, he doesn't have the name, he has no information. And in an unmarked tow truck. I mean, who has an unmarked tow truck? So he could have been here to steal, you have a Mercedes, that's where I would come to your house and take the Mercedes. Or maybe the police escorted him out of here. That's what I believe. They agreed not to press charges against the gentleman, just get him out of here. Yes, Chair. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I gotta throw this out there to you, Jim. Last year, there was this big deal about the RV compound.
Yes.
Because not everybody could use it, we had to pay for it ourselves. So, that's how I feel about this birthday party celebration. If there's a limit of 350, I'm happy that you're having it, but if you're gonna limit it, same principle, could you explain how it's different, please?
I will. The decision was made by the committee, from what I understand, against somewhat secondhand knowledge, that they wanted to do something special, they wanted to have a sit-down dinner. There's space limitations, whether you have your seating of like 350, 375, just have regular people in here. I think this building is what, 675 for just people, events?
The entire building probably hold 900.
But it would hold 900, but the fire number is 600. But the point is, you only have.
You go by the seating and dining, and if you have seating and dining, it's different.
Okay.
In here, in this room, the South Hall can hold roughly 685 people. Seated. Now, if you're dining, it's 368 because of the round table.
Right, here's the problem that we're gonna have, no matter what we decide. It's coming, people are paying with their tickets, they're partially subsidizing it. The rest is coming from donated funds, from unallocated funds that are in the donated funds account. There will be very limited money that comes out of, zero will come out of reserve, just so that anyone's wondering about that. And the rest will come out of operating. But, and I believe that, depending on the exact numbers, and I don't have those right handy, but I believe it's gonna be essentially covered by donated funds, so the community isn't paying for it. Now, here's the problem. Somebody said, well, hey, bring food trucks out. Let's do the math real quick. Let's say a food truck can serve somebody in 3 minutes. That means they can do 20 an hour, over 2 hours, they can do 40. You had 5 trucks, that's 200 people. How are you gonna feed the other, let's say, 4,000 minus 500? How are you gonna do the other 3,500? You could certainly do that. Right, there's many options. Just be aware that whatever we decide to do, there's space, time, and dollar limitations.
Can I?
All right.
There's a huge, go ahead.
Can I? I don't know if anyone, my name is Vince Pease with the 3. I'm not speaking as an employee. Speaking of some lifetime things. I'm from Chicago. So when we have what they saw a taste of Chicago. The whole entire city comes down to the waterfront, and you got about 300, 400 probably, of vendors selling food. And if you can imagine, say, 600,000 to 700,000 people at the waterfront, how fast do you think you're gonna get your meeting? Maybe an hour? You go up there and buy it, an hour later you eat food. So, I'm not saying how what's going on with the birthday, I'm not saying that, I'm just giving you a kind of an idea how the food trucks would run if we're out there, with, say, 1,000 people. It's not up to me.
I know,
Right.
would that work?
I have a lot of ideas, but I can't express them.
Why
I'm sorry.
not, sir? You're not talking as an employee, you're talking as a resident.
I still can't express them. I promise, I'm trying to stay out of politics. I want to stay out of politics, okay? That's how I'm being able to smile.
Everybody else does that.
Well,
Okay.
Hello? We'd like to call this meeting to adjourn. Is everybody okay with that?
I'll second it. Please, one more.
Go ahead.
Last one.
Millie, does we think the board, 95% of the time is great. We are so glad you're willing to do that. We're so glad people are willing to be on these. Why a lot of people don't come here. That's why they're using social media. You're great. If you could hear the fear in my voice when I was talking, it was there. People are great to come here and speak up. And so listen to what they have to say. Don't give rebuttal to them with customer service. And listen carefully to what people are saying, whether you agree with it or don't. I have my own opinion, you have yours. But treat us like we're welcome, and we want to hear all these ideas. And if you were to put on social media, what should we do for a 50-year anniversary? You would have a whole bunch of people that would have given you ideas.
Yeah, we done it a year ago. All right.
And so we appreciate that. You guys are doing a good job, but be open to us that are here and listen to what people have to say and.
We are, you know something, I'm gonna answer that. We are listening. We are listening. We're doing the best. Maybe we can have a great day. Maybe in December, we can have a thing out here with a band.
No, I'm a snowbird. No, you can't. You have to come to my house and you won't want to.
We're done?
So we're done.